happens. All right, we'd like to call the meeting back to order. Mr. Attorney, would you give us a report from closed session?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. From closed session this evening, direction was given to staff that there was no reportable action.
And the Pledge of Allegiance is next. Councilman Thompson, would you lead us? Oh, excuse me, I'm so correct. Holy moly. Ofer Gothers, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for her to give us direction.
My name is Freya. Thank you for inviting us to lead your meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. We are students from Ofer School. Saying the Pledge of Allegiance helps form a connection to our country, the United States of America.
My name is Ayla. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, we honor the flag and everything it stands for. We are a country with a lot of different people. Saying the Pledge of Allegiance gives a sense of pride for all people.
My name is Olivia. We say the Pledge of Allegiance to start our day at school. To begin the meeting and ceremonies, we honor the flag at special events like ball games. We would like to lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Salute.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies, thank you. Okay, ladies. Ladies, come on up here. I need Olivia.
He doesn't bite.
And then Ayla? 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 And Freya. Yes, thank you. Almost forgot.
Well, you did.
Okay, any changes or corrections to the agenda? None tonight?
No changes, Mr. Mayor.
Recusals? Any recusals?
I don't believe so. Any recusals? Nope.
No.
Yeah, we made a couple of a reminder on the agenda, if you're noticing here, just to kind of make sure we're all in tune on some things, so.
Did we want to read the rules of decorum?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, actually, let's go back to agenda adoption, number 5 there.
Okay. Oh, I hear a motion for adoption of agenda.
I'll second.
Call the roll, please. There you go.
Motion passes, 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you very much. Rules of decorum, we'd like to refresh that. Would you like to read it, Mr. Councilman, or Mr. Ring?
Sure. And we put this on the agenda just as a reminder for the public and everybody want to come. We certainly want to encourage folks to come to the council chambers and participate in the city's business, but we just have some rules of decorum that we felt would be appropriate just to share with everybody before the meeting. So the Orrville City Council welcomes the public to its meetings and encourages and appreciates public engagement. The City Council expects members of the public to act in a courteous, civil, and respectful manner and not to take personal, slanderous, or profane remarks to any member of the council, staff, or the general public. The City Council will not tolerate loud, threatening, personal, or abusive language or disorderly conduct which disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the City Council meetings. Violations of these rules of decorum will result in the meeting being recessed. Again, we've never had any major issues here at the city, at least while I've been here, but it's always nice kind of set some foundational policies about respect and decorum.
Thank you, sir. Next item, public communication, hearing of non-agenda items. Do we have any cards?
Yes, we do, Mr. Mayor. We'll start with Rhonda and follow that with Brian Wilson.
Welcome, Rhonda.
A little bit tired throughout tonight, but it consists of blankets and something to sleep on. But if I was in an encampment, your code would be stripping me of that daily. Okay, what I would like to do tonight is I would like to go back a little bit and tell my story a little bit to remind everybody. In 2017, I came here. I was removed by my ex-husband with a false restraining order. My kid was taken. I spent 8 years on your street. My first experience with your mission was a young woman in a drug program. Her name's Sabrina. She's part of the team still, mind you. She throws me and my 10-year-old daughter out at 6 o'clock in the morning in February because of a statement from another guest. No question on why, how, when, what, or who. Just removed. Then that was 2015. I come back in 2017, still ill, bringing my daughter west to meet her family. Once again, I go into your mission. Now I am with some more team players still. They work there, still. They are now attacking me. My daughter's gone, okay? They are now attacking me in the hallway. 2 women, programmers. One of them been there 8 years, her forever home, as she called it. Okay, she's still working, spent many more years in that programmer, as did Sabrina, as did Christina. Team members, still working. These are the people that got the help. The people that they physically removed with their bodies or lied about, or whatever the case may have been. There's many, many, many. I am not the first, nor am I the only. And it's still, you sit here, you hear what is going on. You know what is going on. But we still got programmers. We still got oatmeal with no sugar. But we got a signature that says steak and potatoes. Bull. Bull. I'm tired. I'm old. I'm sick. And I have witnessed way too damn much to stand here and pretend that I freaking haven't. Now, I'll tell you something right now. You do something about what needs to be done. And that does not include your freaking opinion. It belongs behind you.
Rhonda.
Thank you for your time.
Brian
Thank you.
Wilson.
Yes.
Welcome, Brian.
Thank you, Mayor Pittman, distinguished council members. I want to take this opportunity to share my appreciation and say thank you to the city council, say thank you to city staff, including law enforcement, code enforcement, and the public works in the tremendous level of support that we received for our Feather River cleanup that was held on Sunday the 21st. I'm going to give a quick summary. We had 200 volunteers participate, one of the largest groups of volunteers that we've had
That's really cool.
in many years. Partner organizations and local businesses showed up to support the cleanup and removal of trash along the river corridor, starting at the Table Mountain Bridge and heading down to 162. We had trash bins and dumpsters, and we collected trash along the river with the support of DWR, other members of the public. We collected a weighed 10,000 pounds of trash from along the river.
Jesus.
So we feel very fortunate to have been participating with such an outreach from the community and again, support from the city. If I could, I just wanted to acknowledge partner organizations, the City of Oroville, DWR, Hope Center, Jordan Crossing, the Kiwanis, the Key Club members from Oroville High School, Las Plumas High School, and the Oroville Disc Golf community. They were boots on the ground participation. And we had donations and other contributions from community members such as the Butte County Fire Safe Council, Boss Burger, Bosque Native Nursery and Wildscape Design, Chico Ceramics, Croswell Trucking, Foothill Meat, Golden Valley Bank, Heritage Growers, K-Gas Propane, Metalworks, Oroville Botanic Gardens, Rodriguez Portables, Table Mountain Realty. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. But the purpose of me bringing this up is to say thank you and to remind everyone what the power of collaboration can do. So it was an outstanding event.
Thank you.
Thank you to the city.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, sir. Well done.
Thank you. Up next, we have Skipper Clark, followed by the cameraman.
Councilman Weber, excuse me.
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay, sorry. Hello, Skipper, welcome.
I was approached about. Was concerned about the the proposed biofuels plan. I said, I have no idea of what it's about or whatever's. I come from a family of science nerds, for better lack word. I have a brother who's a physicist who's got over 20 patents to his name. Another brother who's got a PhD in genetics. And I'm into soil microbes, the garden manager for our community garden here. So I said, well, I'll look into it and just, try to understand what's going on. And so I've been doing some research from that point. And I've got to agree with Councilman Weber that you stated, a few meetings ago, like, I don't know how this all works. You're holding up your iPhone too. And it's like, this is really complicated. And I understanding now how litigious it is. And, there's a lot of moving parts to the whole thing. And there's a lot of concern from different people. So I want to let you know that I just want to put together a little citizens working group of people who are citizen scientists and just kind of look at this whole project from a holistic point of view. And how you would do that is to look at all of the stakeholders. You look at BRE, and what they're trying to accomplish. Like my friend who was concerned about the air quality that could be compromised. Look at it from that point of view. And then I like Brian Wong, the idea that PG&E rates are so high that it compromises, the profitability of businesses here in Oroville. So there's a whole bunch of factors that go into this thing. I'm just saying I'm not saying I'm opposed to the plant or whatever. I really just want to do research and find other people in the community that would be interested in doing this. And I talked to Janet, Councilman Goodson yesterday, telling him I was going to make a just talk here. Told him I couldn't get a hold of BRE. They have a website, but they haven't answered my questions. I'm kind of wondering, I just want to know a contact person that when questions are generated and stuff that go through. And she was saying that Patrick would be the person maybe that go in between. So I'd like to, just going with that. Let's see. Today I'd like to ask for two things from the board. One would be to request a prospectus and any other sales literature that they're generating for potential investors in the program, just to kind of understand from their point of view, how they're viewing this thing. And I got the EIR from Wes.
Your time is running out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Thank you, though. We appreciate your words.
Make sure that you get Patrick's information, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a comment, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Weber.
Sir.
Skipper.
Skipper? Sir, the Oroville Community Development Coalition is going to be hosting a biomass workshop too in December, which it'll be a Monday evening, December 8th. And I would love to have you come because we're going to be working with BRE and a bunch of other providers. Brian Wong will be there and to talk about the technology, talk about what, and hear concerns from the community. So I would love to have you come along for that. So we're working on the early stages of developing that, but December 8th, which is a Monday evening, we'll have everybody there, and then absolutely are looking for. That's what we have been hosting, but we're also we're going to be moving the Oroville Community Development Coalition meeting back downtown. So we've been hosting at Southside Community Center, but we may have to, for something like that, we may have to have a larger venue. But we're going to be moving it this month to the Union Coffee Club. We're going to be starting to have that as our meeting spot because Brian Wong's building a shared workspace in the next door, right there in the same building that we're going to be able to use. So,
All right.
so yeah.
sir.
And if you want my number, you could have my number too. I'll give it to you, and it'll be my personal cell phone number, so you could have that, and you could contact me too. Okay. Great. All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Of course.
Do, sir. Working. Up next, we have the cameraman, followed by Bill Spear.
Good evening, Oroville City Council. First off, just want to say wonderful Salmon Fest this year. Got a lot of cool stuff, pens, notepads. I even made a fish print. That was pretty cool. Great time all around. Next, I want to briefly mention that Oroville Hospital's in the news again, getting sued close to $17 million for unpaid wages, work, materials, things of that nature. Like the idea from a few meetings back of our a speaker saying, hey, we should have a medical district, because we do have a lot of medical and care facilities there in town, but this hospital has been under construction, this new wing, as long as I've lived here in Oroville. And it's, you know, I understand construction takes time, but I've seen hotels at Disneyland get built faster than this. And even smaller things than that. The Dutch Brothers was built faster than this expansion's taken. So I hope we can get better with that, but it's like I would like to see Oroville Hospital in the news for something good for once, other than something negative. But just keep that in the council's attention. Another issue. So I was watching a video critiquing Grand Theft Auto 5 video game about their usage of traffic signage. And the gentleman was using the California Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices. And after watching that video, going around town, I'm like, hey, I learned something from this, because there is a four-way stop at First Ave and Bird. Now, it's marked with stop signs, but because it's a four-way stop, it has to have that little placard underneath the stop sign that says four-way, all-way. And I was like, hey, I never noticed that until watching a video about Grand Theft Auto, and they say violent video games you can't learn from them. Well, I just learned something that is effective in my town. So, you know, maybe put the critics to rest there. Not all games are bad. And then finally, just to briefly touch on, Mr. Reynolds isn't here tonight, but a few meetings back I did speak about regarding his interview of Action News Now more in depth, and his comments about marijuana industries and businesses. There's things that I agree with, not necessarily agree with either, but to be more on the positive side, I don't think, you know, it's a solution to fund everything in the town, but, you know, from my understanding, you can't put it in a federal bank account, so, you know, the proceeds of that, because of the classification. So if they even get past the planning commission, and if we do get such a thing, why don't you take proceeds for that and patch potholes with pot? I'm just saying.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Spear.
Thank you. Up next, we have Bill Spear.
Welcome, Mr. Spear.
Vice Mayor, City Council. Verses and a prayer. The verse of the day was Galatians 5:24, but I'm going to start in 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is joy, love, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such there is no law. And this is the verse for the day. Those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. Father, we thank you for the fruit of the Spirit. We thank you for what you're doing in our city. Thank you for our mayor and our vice mayor, all our council members. Thank you for the staff, for our police force, our police chief, our fire chief, all the firefighters. Thank you for all the service groups, all of the businesses in our city. We pray that you would continue to bless and anoint, continue to give us wisdom and guidance, direction, provision, healing, all of the stuff that you want to do in our town, in our city. We pray that you would lift us up to be that city on a hill, to be that light on a shelf. You would open doors that no one can close, and also close the doors that no one can open. We put all our hope in you, all our trust in you. And we are sure of this, that you who began a good work in the city, begin a good work in us, that you are able to see it through to the completion of the glorious day of your return. We pray for all the churches of Orrville, that you would pour out your spirit, that we would rise up and meet the needs in the kingdom. We thank you for the jail and all the ministers that go in there every week and minister to the least of these, that bring good news of great joy of the Savior of the world. You came to set the captives free. We continue to lift up the rescue mission. I thank you for them, the Hope Center. For it says, what we've done to the least of these, we've done unto you. So bless them, bless us. In everything we do, let it bring glory and honor to you. In Jesus' name, amen.
That's all I have for submitted public comment, sir.
Thank you all. Next item we have is reports and discussions. Should we do the 5 o'clock public hearing? Oh, let's do that real quick,
Yes, good idea.
as it was scheduled, so let me get to that. It is now 5:05, and I'll call the public hearing to order for the closeout of the Community Development Grant Block CDBG 22-CDBG NH 00008. Amy.
Good evening, Mayor Pittman and council members. Upon the completion of any community development, the block grant, approved activities and/or expenditures of all CDBG funds need to be in compliance with the approved guidelines. The city enters into the final phase of grant management known as grant closeout. During this phase, the city is required to complete a series of activities that verify that the CDBG funds have been properly expended. Tonight's public hearing is one of those CDBG mandated activities that is required to report on the accomplishments of grant number 22 CDBG NH 00008, which is the Neighborhood Cleanup Program. Code enforcement partnered with Hope Center City Works to provide proactive community cleanup services. And although the City Works was the primary contact, we also worked with Butte Community Services, Jordan's Crossing, and Hope Center to do the work. This grant was awarded in 2023, and it actually expires in June of 2026, but we've already 100% expended the funds. So I've prepared a very quick presentation outlining the accomplishments of the sample of work photos. And Ron can pitch in anytime he wants. Let's see, I can't even see my own. So the grant was for $500,000. $465,000 of it went to the activity, and $35,000 of it went for general administration. They did various campaigns of graffiti cleanup, abatement of weeds, trash, debris due to illegal encampments and dumping, and the abatement of illegal dumping of tires and many other things. Ron provided me with some stats about the tonnage of garbage and debris. In 2022-23, they did 439 loads to Recology for a total of 188 tons. In 23-24, 569 loads for 184 tons. And in 24-25, they did 719 loads to Recology, totaling almost 216 tons. We have zero funding remaining to expend. The program was a citywide program, and based on our low mod numbers, which we are 69.3% low mod in Orrville. Again, the grant expires in June of 2026. And if you will advance it forward. These are just some pictures from the cleanup. I mostly did before, but there are some after. Tons of work. Ron, do you want to explain where they are?
Yeah, basically, in any of the areas, the low mod areas, they made sure that, safety was a huge issue, and that's kind of what our platform was, to make the areas safe and free of junk, trash, debris, free of illegal encampments, making sure that curbs were painted red and roadway lines were painted. And this was a very successful, especially the last year. When you talk about that, that's almost 500,000 tons of trash that was removed out of public view. Or 500,000 pounds, sorry, 500, right at 500,000 pounds of junk trash and debris. That's just removed out of public view. That isn't the stuff that we go up into the mountains do or go along the river to get rid of. And, you know, this group worked really well together. We had some, you know, changes throughout the program, but it was successful. And it's a program that needs to exist and continue. And as long as we have the element out there, or the population out there that likes to leave trash everywhere and dump stuff everywhere, it's necessary. You drive around the city of Oroville in comparison to just driving around cities that are 30 minutes away from here, and our city's clean. You know, you don't see a lot of graffiti. You know, when we see graffiti, we get rid of it immediately. Illegal encampments, we get rid of them immediately. Illegal dumping, we don't wait 6, 7, 8 months for stuff to pile up. It happens. Sometimes it happens before it gets reported. You know, so it was a very good program. You know, the skills that these individuals learn that participated in the program, you know, working with Public Works, working with the police department and code enforcement, you know, they're, to be part of a solution versus being part of a problem is such a huge thing and a confidence builder. We had multiple individuals along this about 2.5-year period that moved on to other jobs. You know, they took the skills, they took the confidence, they stabilized their lives, and were able to move out of that program and, like say, go into full-time work. And very proud for, you know, anybody and everybody that was involved in that, including our police department, our fire department, the Hope Center, Jordan's Crossing. There's so many moving parts to make this work. It's not easy. It's not, you just drive out and start cleaning up. You know, there's a lot of organization, a lot of collaboration that has to go on. And you got to make sure that, you know, the people out there that are working for the city are safe as well. You know, so we run into a lot of individuals that have mental health issues or just don't like any type of authority. And you have to get past that layer before you can make an improvement. The work that was done and the leadership, you know, that went in on this, just every day, whether it was raining, sunshine or not, they're out there working and trying to improve our city. I just think it was an excellent grant, well managed. Amy, I appreciate all your work and keeping the numbers going. I know I was making you crazy with receipts and all that stuff, but there is a lot of work that goes behind the scenes as well. But very good program.
Yeah. Excellent. Councilman Goodson has a question.
Excellent program. I remember I was sitting on the dais and I was the one that motioned for this. It was much needed, $500,000 for code enforcement. Moving forward, I know that you have gotten together with city staff and you've brainstormed, where do we go from here? You weren't caught unaware that the funds were going to be expended prior to the sunset date. So what is the plan moving forward to be able to continue and sustain and maintain this program and the amount of workers that is needed?
So, you know, we started, you know, Bill Agrone and myself started this program in 2017, I want to say.
Oh,
Somewhere around
yes.
that. It's been around for quite a while. It's very tough to fund. It's very, you know, it takes a lot of money and a lot of moving parts to make this work. I mean, the trash doesn't get there by itself. There's vehicles involved, there's fuel involved, there's a lot of stuff involved in maintaining a program like this. We have, you know, right now the funds available to maintain it at the Hope Center level. There is a future grant application, I believe, in January.
Yes.
We'll apply, and I think it's 300,000 this time, and not the 500,000. But you know, we'll continue to look for grants and to keep this type of program going because it's needed. I mean, you need a Public Works division that's probably twice the size of what we have now if we didn't have this. You know, I mean, it's just to maintain that so the individuals that drive into our city and drive into our communities don't see trash everywhere. You know, and it's sad that behavior is allowed. And that's where we're at, this place and time, and in the city or in California or across the United States. It's really sad that people get to behave like this. I think if I threw a gum wrapper out the window of my car, I'd get pulled over and get issued a citation. But, you know, you can dump hundreds of thousands of pounds
That's
all over our
right.
city, and that behavior is accepted. I think it's very sad, and I hope that future administrations make changes to that type of behavior.
Right,
Thank
and I
you.
will say, because we fully expended the grant funds and we don't anticipate submitting an application till January, and they don't anticipate awards till June of 2026. So there's a large gap in funding there. So just make it aware that they have very limited resource to do that now, so.
All right.
I think it's a sad statement as a common denominator. We all have to have this in place because it doesn't go away just because you clean it up. That's true. And it's, I think the public's perception is it shouldn't happen. Well, it's happening, and people immediately get upset about seeing it, and then they don't realize how much work is going on behind. So we appreciate
Right.
your efforts.
And I think that, you know, not just our efforts, but the efforts of Feather River Park and Rec,
Right.
service groups. I mean, everybody has a hand in this, you know, and there's individuals that go out there with no funding and are still boots on the ground, making
Yeah.
things happen.
All right, any other questions? What's the pleasure of the body? We have an action request here.
I'll make a motion to authorize the closeout of the Community Development Block Grant number 22 CDBG-NH-00008.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, before we vote, I believe we have to close the public hearing.
Oh,
You'll close it first.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll close the public hearing at 5:15, and then we have
Now
a.
I'll make the motion.
Make the motion on the floor. All right, and then do we have a second on the motion?
Yes, second.
Call the roll, please.
Motion passes 6 yeses, 1 absent.
And again, thank you to all our city staff and our partners that work on it. I mean, it takes a community to get these things done, so it's a wonderful part of it. Okay, next item is council announcements and reports before we go to consent. So any councilman announcements?
yes.
Vice Mayor
I
Smith
did.
is in the queue.
Ladies first. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to issue a heartfelt thank you to our community. It takes a village to do an event the size of the Salmon Festival. It has become, I think, an amazing opportunity for Orville to put its best foot forward. And there are many heroes in our community that make this work. So I probably would like to mention everyone that participated, but I'll forego that. I did have a snafu with volunteers in the afternoon, and so I just want to issue a heartfelt thank you to Jordan Crossing for stepping up and helping me. Otherwise, yeah. So appreciate that, Pastor Bill, for that extra support. And then Feather River Parks District, again, you can't say enough about the support with putting our best foot forward as a community, right? And making sure that when folks visit Orville, that they see a clean, amazing community. And I think we're all believers in Orville. That's why we're here. But it's always important to, prepare for an event such as that, because we do get a lot of outside folks. I think Kevin Zeitler, who many of you know, he was running cards in the food court. And I think he said in his hour or two that he worked in there was 6 from 6 different states represented when he was, checking IDs. You kind of know what he was doing. So that's really cool. That just says that, Orville, we're attracting people from, beyond our own local borders, which is great. Segueing over really quick, I don't want to steal Patrick's thunder because you're probably going to talk about the app. So this week, the app went hot, the 311, and I used it. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Velser. That's amazing. So I took a picture and posted my grievance, and driving out to come here downtown, there's the crew, man, working away. And then, so what's really cool is when you go in here, my request, and then which was tree cleanup and removal over on Grand Avenue, and I click on it. And my complaint was a sightline issue. It was real dangerous making a left-hand turn on the Grand Avenue because of vegetation encroaching out into the roadway. And so it addresses it, and then it just talks about its vegetation has been removed and closed out and the date when it happened. Very cool. Amazing. So beginning to end, Thank you.
And did you
And
get the
good job.
update photo?
What's that?
Did you get the update photo?
No, I didn't. I don't see the I see my photo. But is there supposed to be an updated photo?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's coming next.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, so just thank you. It works, and it's amazing. Great tool for the public. Thank you.
Councilman Goodson.
I apologize for Vice Mayor Smith. Apparently, he did not get the memo that city council people are not allowed to use that tool.
What are we talking about?
We're not allowed to use that tool.
Yeah.
Good job, good job. I just wanted to give an update. Wes Irwin, and he's not here. I was really surprised. We were honored to present at last week's CPAT session. CPAT is Community Planning Assistant Team, and it's a pro bono program through the American Planning Association California chapter. And so they had boots on the ground here probably late 2023. It's a retired group that went, and what they do is they go specifically to underserved populations. And Wes had reached out to them to just have a tour of Southside and just see what the challenges were, infrastructure, roads, et cetera. And so they gave us some strategic planning, I would say. So we had an opportunity to go to Monterey. There was probably about 500 people in attendance. I was able to share Southside Oroville's, the historical side of it, and highlighting planning recommendations that are already underway, and like housing infrastructure improvements. And Wes was able to present a PowerPoint presentation. So it was just an opportunity to represent Oroville and build momentum for Southside's restoration. I learned something about my vehicle on the way back. It's a 5-hour drive. And so I had a tank full of gas and I drove all the way. And halfway through, I took a picture. Yes, I was driving and I took a picture. It says, "Would you like to take a break?" And it has a cup of coffee on it. So I drove straight through. Yeah.
Yeah. Talking cars. Thank you very much. Appreciate the attendance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for the opportunity.
Councilman Weber's up.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, Eric, Vice Mayor Smith, fantastic job, man. Once again, like,
Salmon Fest.
just knocked it out the park. What a beautiful a day.
Oh.
But tell us how you really feel.
No idea what that was.
Hallelujah. So you and your team did a great job. I mean, really, just once again, what a wonderful day, what a wonderful event. Just really enjoyed it. Well done. The city is blessed to have you doing the things that you do, and you're extremely good at it. You're a great brand ambassador, and I just wanted to commend you on that. Thank you. Brian, thank you for being spearheading and getting all those different agencies to come together to do that river cleanup. It was really, really impactful. I know that I really enjoyed it. I loved working, of course, side by side with the Jordan Crossing guys that I always do, but with the City Works guys and as well as your guys from Feather River Parks and Rec. I mean, we went in there and we got busy. I was part of the team, as you know, that was on the homeless kid encampment abatement team over on the levee and the island and all that. And it was incredibly eye-opening experience. And just so thank you for those efforts. I look forward to the next one. And I'm looking forward to also participating in the Park Watch program and all those things that you have as an enhancement for all of us working together, like you were talking about, Ron, you know, what that looks like for us to collectively and collaboratively work to ensure that we have a good quality of life in our community. So it really does take a village, right? And then Janet, please forgive me for not attending the Black and White Gala. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
We have next.
We
next
do, and I have no excuse, and I already told you that. So I didn't put it on my calendar and didn't do it properly. So yeah, next year. And also thank you for going and being a good brand ambassador for Orville down in Monterey as well. And I just wanted to commend you for that. So that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Johnstone.
Thank you. So I just wanted to say, Ryan, that I didn't clean up trash, but I did go out and help paint some trees. So
All right, that's good.
I really enjoyed it, just working with the community, and I think that it's a fabulous opportunity for us to get out and take ownership of our community. And starting in the park is a wonderful opportunity to do that and just meet your fellow citizens, right? And take care of the things that we want to keep nice, right? So I am excited to move forward. I would like to see this happen more than just once a year. You know, twice or 2 or even 3 times a year, and maybe other areas as well too. So I mean, I know that's a huge area that needs constant maintenance, but let's just keep the momentum going, and I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of it. Thank you. Yeah.
Good job.
Janet, I'm sorry, I was out of town.
Oh.
So I apologize.
No worries.
I will be there
Next year.
Any other councilman? The only thing I was going to mention is the Saturday coming up is the Hmong New Year celebration this weekend at Nelson Avenue Park. Brian, what do you have for staff?
Let's see, just a few quick updates. I wanted to reiterate the 311 app, which is live, and for those folks who, you can do it on you can download the app. It's Orville 311 at the App Store, or you can also go to the website and the Orville website and also do something on your computer if you prefer to report non-emergent issues or matters that way. But it is a great new tool. Also wanted to give a big shout out to code enforcement. This is Code Enforcement Appreciation Week.
Yes, it is.
And you know, he touched on it a little bit ago, but their partnership with CityWorks, I mean, the CityWorks program is something that we've talked to the Ferguson Group, which is our federal lobbyists. They just are in awe about that program because it does amazing things. And it does amazing things that nobody sees because they take care of stuff. I mean, I can drive by the street in the morning on the way to work and I see something and then I go by it later in the afternoon and it's gone. And I know how that happens. So huge kudos to the team and the efforts that they put out there because it is kind of a thankless job. Quick update, the federal government shutdown, just to let everyone know that still is going on. I talked to the federal lobbyists today just to see if they had any updates on it. And this is one of those where I think there's no really end in sight. It's going to take some movement on one side to get a deal done. Thankfully, the essential services, post office, social security, law enforcement, those type of things, those are essential services. Those are still going on. So I don't believe there's been any direct impacts to the city. Obviously, if it goes on for extended periods of time, it could affect grant programs that we try to get, CDBG. But if you hear anything, please let me know, and I'll be sure to follow up on it. But as of right now, there is no short-term end in sight. And lastly, the governor, this is a busy time at the state level for signing bills before they go to recess. I believe the governor has about a week to sign. I think there's 400 or 500 bills sitting on his desk still to either sign or veto. I know we will be watching to see what happens and develops, and if anything comes of those that has an impact on the city, we'll be sure to provide the council with an update. I think that's all I have.
Departments. Looking over there. Alyssa?
Just a couple of small items. I'll give you the September's Public Works update next council meeting. This one specifically, just wanting to give you all a heads up that we're looking at some municipal code language and maybe some clarification needed for specifically drainage and driveway culverts. So there's just been a lot of discussion about responsibility, and there just might need to be a little bit of cleanup in there, and it's going to potentially come to you here in the near future. Montgomery Roundabout, so we know that there's some work that needs to be done there. The advertisement for construction closes next week, so we should know if we have a contractor lined up for that work, and where that will fall as far as our budget goes. And looking closely too, just in general, at other storm drain challenges just ahead of winter. So we know like Boynton is on our radar. We've got a culvert challenges up at County Center Drive and Table Mountain Boulevard. So there's just a few locations, and if you're aware of any, please bring them to our attention. So, thank you.
311.
Patrick?
311's already been covered, so I'll leave that one alone. We do have RFPs out for art to be paid for by the Art Commission funds, and those are due on November 12th. The red-tailed hawk that the council had sent back to the Art Commission, that one we did not include that in the NOFA because we thought we should actually have a place for it to go. So the Art Commission has formed a little ad hoc committee to look for a place where it can actually go. I think that'll be helpful for the artist to understand where they'll be placing it and then how it might fit best in that spot. So,
Okay, cool.
That's
Chief
it.
Wines, anything?
Just a couple of things. The Flock camera, live feed cameras are starting to come on live. We have a couple with some technical difficulties, but with solar, whether it's going to be shore power or solar power, some areas didn't work. The live view trailer is deployed out to Bedrock Park area where they're doing some work on the skate park. So that is up and running right now. The only other thing mentionable is we're continuing to work on the issues with our evidence facility, and we have an opportunity to potentially build a new facility with some funds that we've located. And so more to come on that as we get a design plan and see what we can do about our evidence.
Excellent, good to hear. Mr. Belser?
I didn't notice, but Shane Hutchins is in the audience, and he is my main guy with the Hope Center. You go ahead and stand up, Shane.
Yeah.
He has been with me, I don't know, what, 5-6 years?
At least.
Right there in that area, but he is the guy that led the Clean Streets and the City Works program and manages all the individuals and keeps them busy and keeps the details. He communicates well with Public Works and you know, a lot of the moving stuff, a lot of decision making goes through that individual right there, and he's a blessing to have. So I just wanted to recognize him while he was
Thank you,
here.
sir.
Can I chime in on that too? Shane, I mean, in his whole crew came out to the South Side Cleanup Day, and they did a fantastic job.
Yes,
Every
they
time I
did.
see them in City Hall or anywhere, they're just really hard workers, and they're really respectful and polite, and they're really great to have. So yeah, I appreciate that, Shane.
And a real quick update on the last meeting, you approved the Comcate code enforcement software. We've made it through. We put about 50-plus hours of screen time in on that, and we've made it through the first implementation process. So that's going along really smooth. So I'm excited. We're probably about 3 weeks out before we'll get started on using that software program.
Nice.
No? I'm going to add that our staff made a great presentation to the California Traffic Commission two Fridays ago, I think. Yeah, I think it was. Alyssa put a presentation on the Washington Street project to that body, which is the body that decides the money for roads. And it was a very impressive, I thought, one of the best presentations because you had a moving overhead camera that was something to look at. So it was a good presentation on the city's part. And Mr. Ring was also there before the BK body and the California Traffic Commission, and they got a presence, and they didn't tour our sites, but the overhead cameras, I think the help with the PD provided the camera, the drone. It was very impressive, and we appreciate that very much. Other than that, I think we move forward. Next item is consent calendar. Any motions on the consent calendar? Or we'll pass the consent, and then I'll have it. Yep. So I'm entertaining a motion for consent.
So moved.
Call the roll? Go ahead. Got Tracy's second. Call the roll.
Motion passes 6 yeses, 1 absent.
With that passed, I'm going to ask Councilman Thompson to read our number 1 item here, if he would, please.
Absolutely. This is a resolution of the City of Orville, resolution number 9410, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orville honoring the life, service, and faith of Charlie Kirk. Whereas the City of Orville recognizes the importance of honoring individuals who have dedicated themselves to the betterment of their community through service, conversation, and leadership, and whereas Charlie Kirk was known to our nation and our community for his open and respectful dialogue with all people, his willingness to listen, and his commitment to fostering understanding and dialogue among neighbors, friends, and colleagues. And whereas Charlie Kirk's faith was central to his life, guiding his service, inspiring his kindness, and encouraging him to live with conviction, humility, and hope. And whereas through his service, his faith, and his voice, Charlie Kirk inspired others to engage in civic life, to strengthen bonds of fellowship, and to participate in building a stronger, more compassionate, more understanding nation. And whereas his tragic passing is a reminder of the violence that too often harms families, neighbors, and communities, and stand as a call to action that such violence must end. And whereas the Orville City Council joins with family, friends, and community members in mourning his loss, while also lifting his legacy as an example of service, civility, faith, and care for others. Now therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Orville that we formally recognize and remember Charlie Kirk for his community service, his faith, and his commitment to conversation with all. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall serve as both a memorial to his life and as a renewed pledge by the City of Orville to work towards a community free from violence where understanding, compassion, and peace prevail. Passed and adopted by the City Council of the City of Orville, State of California, on the 7th day of October, 2025.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item is 10, amendment to lease operating agreement for the Orville Convention Center between the City of Orville, Feather River Recreation and Park District. Mr. Ring.
Yes, I'll take this real quick. I just have to say, this is one of those items that we worked on about a year and a half ago. The council gave staff direction to try to find a solution that worked for the YMCA and the Convention Center and Feather River Recs and Park District. And I just want to say this is one of those situations where it really turned out to be a win-win-win. I think it's working out great for the city, having the facility just busy all the time, someone occupying it all the time, just being a vibrant part of the downtown. It's worked out great for the YMCA, and I believe it's worked out great for Feather River Recs and Park District. So I just want to say that the first year there has been just seamless. So this here, we had a 1-year agreement before. This is an extension of that, another year. It includes a 3% increase, so the monthly rate goes from $2,500 a month to $2,575 a month. And it goes from October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. I know Mr. Wilson's here if you had any questions from Feather River Recs and Park.
Questions from council? Councilman Weber.
Yeah, observation, agreeing with your observation about downtown, it being a hub of activity, for sure. It is, I don't know that there's not a night that I don't see something happening there all the time, right? The parking lot's full, people in and out, and that is just good all the way around for what downtown should have going on. So question for you, Brian, in this, do you think that this collaboration has been beneficial for all the agencies involved? I know it from the city's perspective, we believe that, but I want to know your perspective on that.
On behalf of the district, we certainly appreciate the opportunity to be downtown and to occupy the building. As far as my feelings on the success for the district, as you mentioned, you're seeing activity almost every night of the week. So right now, what you're seeing when you go down there, we have our youth volleyball program going on. That's happening 4 nights a week. On Friday night, we have some YMCA adult programming, dance, fitness. Moving into the winter, you'll see basketball in there 4 nights a week. So we're very pleased, again, to be downtown and to be able to offer these services to the members of the community, and we look for opportunities to continue to expand those services. So we're very pleased, and we hope for a long-term partnership.
Yeah, well, we certainly appreciate you being there for sure. I mean, it's an excellent partnership, and it also stands as proof per the conversations we've had before. It's like old things can be put to bed, right? You know, because remember you and I had the conversation. It was like when this all first started. It was like, well, you know, they did this and they did that, and it's like, well, where are they now, right? So, but it's a good collaboration. It's a good partnership, and we appreciate you guys down there. Thank you.
All right, do I hear a motion? Call the roll, please. That's item, adopts resolution 9411 on the agenda. Next item is what was the result?
Motion passed 6-1.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mayor, do you mind if can we jump to number 12? I know
Sure.
we have some folks here that I believe we wanted to have this one go first.
Okay.
Okay.
Item number 12, conceptual design, master plan, and preliminary cost estimate for Bedrock Park. Welcome. Tim?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice, council members. I have with me Audrey from MDG,
Aubrey.
and Andrew's kind of hanging out in the back as moral support.
You're getting you fired up here.
Is this one working? No? Is this microphone better?
Those microphones can be heard online, but they can't really be heard in the room.
I'll use my outside voice. We've hit a point in Bedrock Park design where we need your concurrence and permission to go on to design documents for phase 1. And I have Aubrey here to kind of go through how we got to where we are, and I hope you like what we've got. But the recommended motion is to approve what we've done and go on to design development. Again, the overview of Bedrock Park. This is what we're developing into something that can be a jewel of Oroville and waterfront access. Phase 1, new irrigation system, renovated turf in the lower area, some shade trees up the upper area, code compliant stairs and railing coming down from Arlen Rhine down to the lower area. We've got the burned out restrooms that we're gonna hopefully turn into kiosk rental, kayak kiosk rental building. Rock wall repair, that was also highlighted in our levee inspection. Solar lighting for security, so we can have some more lighting up there, so you can't get away with things in the dark. And then cleaning up that brush on the island, so that we can. In phase 2, we would get some more walking trails, get some folks out there. Then phase 2. Phase 2 is a much bigger project, and it comes later. This design that we're doing right now is going to get construction documents for phase 1 and cost estimate and conceptual design for phase 2. We're right here in the green. We're pausing today after tasks 1, 2, and 3 are done, so we have a master plan, program development, cost analysis, and pause here for your review and approval, and then we'll get diligently working on task 4 if you so desire. We're going to be done with this sometime in April, June next year, Aubrey.
Sounds about right.
And I would love to turn it over to Aubrey now for the conceptual design.
Of course.
Welcome, Aubrey.
Hello. Does everybody have this up on their screens in front of them?
We have it
And
right
the big
here.
screen.
Yeah,
Right
we
here.
do, yeah.
And a
Yeah.
video? Can you see it? It's,
Yeah.
It
Yes.
seems pretty small.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so Tim, hi, I'm Aubrey.
Yeah.
I work for Mountain Design Group. I'm project managing this project. So Tim went over phase 1 and phase 2. I'm going to show you the entire master plan that we've designed up. So this is the full potential of what we think the park could become. So right up top in that upper parking lot, we have right where the bathroom was burned down, we have a kayak kiosk and concession that was already designed by Better Builders, and we have the plans for those. We still have to look into how far along those are. And it's approximately 500 square feet. The master plan would consist of some type of ADA accessibility ramp down to the water for water access, and we would love to see some stairs come back to the backside of that hill, and we would create, or we would establish erosion control along that backside of the hill because it's really wearing down over the years. Down from the ramp and the stairs, there would be beach access for the public and a boat staging area. They could take the boats, anyone working at the kiosk can take the boats, drive down through a swing gate, chain the boats up on the beach. That could be where all the rentals are. And there would be an accessible boat launch ramp over there too. There is an existing weir down here, and we would like to maintain access or enhance the access for walkers, for fishermen, over onto that island when the water's not at its highest level. You can access that, and there are people that walk over there right now. The areas along the banks on both sides, as well as the island, would be cleared, just cleaned up so that you can have a clean site through the island to discourage any camping in here and encourage hiking and fishing on this island over here. The stretch of the water in this area, that's all in blue. That is a very high recreation value for the city of Orville. The reason we have it highlighted still is because it's yet to be determined what exactly could go in there. We have a lot of really good ideas. We'd love to encourage floats down to Riverbend Park. We want it to be friendly for kayakers, obviously, because we'd have this kayak rental kiosk. We would want it to be friendly for tubers and for kayakers. And some kayak lessons in the lagoon. What was designed by MDG about 20 years ago was a series of waves that went through this lagoon. And this was to invite whitewater kayakers, get the public excited, get the public down there to watch them. In our minds, the design would be gentle waves, like there's waves at Bend, there's some in Texas on the San Marcos River. If anyone's been to the Reno Truckee Whitewater Park, there's, people can still go down in their tubes. These small series of waves through this would be, like I said, gentle enough for children to go in. And then it would also provide continual fresh water for the fish habitats. We've talked to a lot of people at Caltrout. This isn't Caltrout area, but in other areas of the river, and talked to them about, how do these waves affect the fish habitat and the people also getting involved. And if we do some sort of wave design in here, obviously we would get all the appropriate people involved before any plans start happening or any construction starts happening. Because obviously we want to be sensitive to all the environmental factors. Going up to the main parking lot area, we would like to create a loading zone for people bringing their own boats and crafts, and they would be able to walk those down. And up to the right, my right-hand side, the lower area, we we would like to create a small play area, something, maybe a small fish themed climber, a fish that's from the local hatchery. This doesn't have to be something large because we have so much recreation and so much play that's already being established in Orville. So this would just be something where kids and families can go if they don't want to go to the beach. There would be a shade structure right next to that yellow arrow up there with a view of the river and shaded
I'll get you
picnic.
up here.
Um,
We had a question from Councilman Johnston. If
Yeah.
you'll take it real quick.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Okay.
I was somewhat worried when you were talking about the kayaks, which I think is a fabulous idea, but I know a lot of
Yeah.
the river too, and so my concern is just.
Yeah.
So, is there on?
Yep.
Have to make sure that
Yes, all of that would be a part of this. Yeah, clearing that lagoon out, deepening it in some areas. Yeah.
branches.
Yep. 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 Absolutely. Yeah, sorry, I should have paused after the water part.
Yeah.
That's a big part. It's a big, important part. So play area, simple fish climber, some natural structures, something easy to maintain. We would create a defined, you can see that green wavy area. We'd create a defined turf area. You know, the easiest thing to maintain is grass that you mow. But if we created a defined space, that would be even easier to maintain. We would do minimal native plants around the whole area with a lot of shade trees. We did a path kind of winding throughout and we wanted it to tie back into the bike path because if we bring, joggers, dog walkers, bikers throughout this park, then it activates this space and there's not any nooks and crannies for people to hide if there's a constant flow of the right people. The down below the yellow arrow, that view arrow, we talked about there's stairs currently down there, but we would bring those giant stairs down into the river with some sort of platform for outdoor classrooms. Maybe when the water's low, it can be intimate music gatherings. I see a lot of classrooms going to Riverbend Park, and this place would be also a great place to do that. Let's see, what else?
I think I'll make a kind of a quick comment. I got a chance to walk it with her down there, and one of the things that has changed is before the dam, this was a great swimming spot. Mostly because the river water was warmer because it didn't have the opportunity. Now we're getting the water from the bottom of the lake, and it's much cooler, much colder, down around 50 degrees. So it's not a great swimming spot except for very few short, very hot summer days. So the idea of having kayaks and other board and other kind of facilities probably has a better suited purpose than actually a swimming pool to speak of. So I added that in there just because it's a whole lot different temperature water than it was many years ago. Vice Mayor Smith has a question.
Yeah, could you help me isolate and identify, so the 103,000 that we've spent with you in the development of these conceptual plans, what does that all entail? So with the project as a whole, does that include the kiosk? I mean, maybe you can just break that down in kind of a bullet point fashion as to exactly.
Our phase one.
Yeah, the phase one piece.
Back to our
'Cause
phase.
it was a little bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was having a little trouble. I kind of totally wasn't completely clear.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. So for phase one, we would be doing the complete construction documents to get this park back up and running smoothly, new irrigation system and renovated turf, all of these phase one items, the trees, the 2 stair sets. There's one up on the levee and then there's a lower set that are they're bad, they're crumbling. So we'd bring those 2 stairs and railing up to code, And this includes the repair of that burned building, so the new kiosk with the concession, the upper rock wall up top by the road, that's falling apart.
And so the price tag of 1.139, that can be done, all those that you just laid out?
That's
Okay.
our-
And do we have
that's
that
our rough
funding
cost
actually,
estimate.
Identified, and is that secured?
No, we do not have the 1.1. So that 1.1 also includes the design fee.
For
Of
MDG.
103,000, right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
But
So
we
I-
can use the design documents to go after other grants as well.
I understand, because right now, we don't have the dollars to build this all out. I mean, part of that is, the CEQA and others completely wiped out any possibility of the development of this because of the whole concern with the fish, the salmon, and the dangers that exist for them. So, back in 2017, there was about $100,000 that was spent with your group developing, like we have a brand-new city hall. All this whole corridor would be completely redone. We've spent tons of money. I got stacks next door in my office of all these beautiful conceptual plans, but the dollars that it really requires to see the realization of the dream. So there's the dream and then the actual horsepower to get her across the finish line.
Yeah.
And there's a divide there. And so I just wanted to, I don't want to be a dream bubble popper here, but I think getting the park back into a safe, functional.
And that's what phase one is.
It makes a ton of sense,
Yeah.
right?
Right, right.
And then dream casting, I think, needs to go back to the Parks Department for a lot of this other stuff, because some of this stuff in some of the other committees and things that I sit in, that's a no-fly. That's I want to live there and be on that inner tube too. But the reality of that actually happening here is
Right.
probably not so much.
Yeah.
And so I guess I just want to kind of just point that out. I mean, that's beautiful ideas. And even the kiosk, I think it's important to identify that public-private relationship. Who's going to run the, Riverbend Park, they had actually it was a shipping container, and they were operating kayak rentals out of there. And it's been some years since that private-public relationship came to an end. And I mean, I'm all down with it. I mean, I'd love to have kayak rentals and all of that, but I think it's important for us as a council, because we just got the alert that our budget, we have some real heavy concerns here, and other big things that need to be considered before we're building water parks. And I guess I just want to lay that out, that really this, point that out, and then just really focus on the fact that we're talking about is getting the park back to a safe, lighting, irrigation, some
Yep.
trees, repairs, that kind of thing. But the dream casting for the big stuff, boy, we're going to have to find some significant
Futuristic.
grants and
Yeah.
dollars
Sure.
to get that across the finish line. But yeah, amazing
Yeah.
stuff. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you. And we completely understand how many hoops, we would have to jump through and how long that would take to even scratch the surface.
Get in
But
line. Get in line.
Phase 2 is the dream big phase. Like I said, phase 1, we already can do construction documents to get everything up and running smoothly. Phase 2,
Okay.
that's not a contract yet.
Real quick question I have, really it's an observation. I think you can't get any grant money unless you have a great plan. And I
Yeah.
think this plan has really
Right.
got substantial things. One thing I would like to ask you to do, and not necessarily tonight, but actually sit down with our security folks and our code enforcement folks and make sure that whatever we have here is going to work for them. Because,
Yeah.
that's going to be where we maintain it, because one of the worst things we have is have a great park and then they have problems with managing that troubled population. So whatever they have as suggestions, I think would be a great idea here to make sure that, and I don't know how that is. That's a tough job to even ask you to do that, but that's one of the difficulties we have. We can build great facilities, but then are they going to be hammered
Yeah.
by that population that gives us the problem? So I would just make that as an observation, and to have it as part of it. And not that we're going to put a police station right in the middle of it, but maybe that's what they need. Yeah, substation.
City of Red Bluff did that with River Park
Oh,
that
is
we're
that
working
right?
on right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they have such a problem with people down there.
Oh, really? Okay, that's a good
So the wrong
suggestion,
types of
yeah.
people down there. So they have a police they're going to do a police substation.
Substation for maybe the other vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Look at
Yeah.
it. See, you
Not
got
a
his
bad
eyes
place
open
to
already.
be.
He's ready to talk.
Next to the river. Let's talk. Yeah,
All
I
right.
agree. There can't be a disconnect and there needs to be the manpower to keep it up and running.
Yeah.
Otherwise it will fail.
right.
Yes.
Is that, how much more do you got?
These are inspirational images of things that we talked about. The accessible boat launch, shade structures, native planting, the steps down to the water. And then if you go back or go forward, yeah, then that was our enlargement of our play area. That's all phase 2. And yeah, phase 1, the water,
Yeah.
besides cleaning of vegetation and getting it prepped for, yeah, yes.
Even that's gonna be a challenge.
Yes, absolutely.
I should also mention too that, Mr. Ring could probably expand upon it. We just had a draft review of the Army Corps of Engineers work on the levee. Actually, the meeting was today, and we may see some improvements come from that recommendation, particularly in this particular spot, because that's kind of the weak link in our levee. You have anything else to add to that?
Yeah.
I think overall, and we will have the folks come and present to the council probably in November or December, but overall, the levees was in really good shape. But I think the Bedrock Park area is where it's at its thinnest point, and there was some seepage in there a number of years back. So that is one area where I think more testing, core sampling, more analysis would be helpful to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll cause any problems with this park,
Yeah.
but there could be substantial work done on the backside of that levee.
Yeah, I think that would maybe impact more on the phase 2 side. I think the phase 1 stuff, again, it's getting it back really functional and operational. But I do believe getting it shovel ready would help us be more competitive for the grants.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, were there any other questions, comments?
I'm looking for approval for the council to move this design master plan along.
I'll
It's more of a
I'll
consensus thing.
second that, yeah. but
Okay.
It's,
It's more of a consensus item than it is a vote.
right, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Action item,
Oh.
so it does require a vote.
Okay.
All right.
Just, there's no resolution attached to it. It's
Right.
a council minute order which approves the conceptual design and master plan and authorizes the contractor to move forward to design.
Then I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Call the roll. As agenda sized. Thank you all.
Motion
Fun.
passes 5 yeses.
Thank you very
1 no,
much.
1 absent.
Love the earrings.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You know, it was brought to my attention that on the consent, there was an errant vote by a council member that, so if the council would wish to reconsider the consent, item number 1 on the consent, it would take a motion and a second from the council to reconsider that, and then we can re-vote on that if there is a desire to do so.
Fine with me. Do you want to make that motion?
What are we doing?
Just reconsider item number 1. There's a request to have a different vote
Yes.
on item number 1.
Oh. So do you want to bring that forward?
Right, I just would like to formally rescind my vote to approve that resolution. I just don't support the recognition, and
Okay.
I just wanted to state that for the record.
It was in the consent item, so she just
Yeah,
missed it,
it
so.
was-
So
I
if
just
we wanted,
missed it.
so if we wanted to change, officially change the vote on that, we'd have to unwind it, which would take a motion and a second to address that, and then we could
Then the
re-vote on
vote.
it.
I can walk you through procedurally if you need that.
Gotcha. So we need a motion for reconsider item number 1.
One needs to make a motion to reconsider item number 1.
I move that we reconsider agenda item 1.
Okay.
If there is a second for that motion, then we're seeking a second at the moment.
I'll second it. Just
Okay.
let him vote.
Then council may vote to allow the reconsideration on item number 1, which would allow the council to re-vote on it individually from the consent item. It would then, the vote on that would be taken out of the consent approval, and it would be as if it was pulled.
Revote,
And then
yes.
you would re-vote on it.
Okay.
Right.
So first you vote on the motion for reconsideration,
to approve the new motion.
Right.
That's correct.
Okay.
We ready to call the roll?
We had a motion and a second. Motion from Councilmember Goodson and a second from the mayor. Thanks, Dave.
All right, and now that motion passed, so, Mayor, you may call for a vote on item number one
I
separately.
would call for a vote on item number one.
To be considerate.
Second.
Call the roll.
Now we're re-voting on number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Alright.
you, appreciate that.
Next item then is, are we gonna go to 11? Number 11.
Yes, we are, Mr. Mayor.
New City Corporation Yard status update.
You got that one?
Do we have video?
Nope.
While it's getting pulled up, just want to say thank you to everyone who came out last week to look at the current corp yard and the new potential corp yard, and looking at the state of play for both. I think that's, I value your time, and I know you value your time, and I just wanted to thank you all for doing that.
Well, I want to add, I think it was good to see the old yard for many of the staff members, councilmen. Thank you for that idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
This is going to be I hope, fruitful conversation. We have the proposal back from the contractor, and it is higher than our budget. So staff and the contractor, Studio W, Trover, have been brainstorming some ideas. I can't go forward on this one. So I'm going to bring to you some options to consider, and we'll have a discussion, and I'm asking for some direction to staff so we can go forward and get to resolution on our corp yard.
Okay.
Project information, so this is a design-build approach, so we're in phase one, which is the conceptual design, and gets us to a guaranteed maximum price, which the contractor would then be held to, and they're on the hook for any overages unless it's a new ask from the city. So we awarded this for $30,000 to United Building Contractors, and their architect engineer firm is Studio W, who's been doing the heavy lifting for them, gaining the requirements, doing the programming, and getting the conceptual design together. We also have a contract with North Star for $7,500. That was to do the topographic survey so we could get the ADA path of travel, which was required to kind of level the expectations about what surface improvements needed to happen for the new corp yard. There's the GMP proposal. I've underlined the hard number on the bottom is just over $4 million. Now, we got here because the project's not shovel ready, or the project is not move-in ready. During the design, or the conceptual design, we identified we don't have enough power in the right spot.
Right.
The shell of the mechanics building needs to be insulated, and we need HVAC, and the AC and heating in the mechanic shop. So when we set out the contract, we only asked for renovating the admin shop and doing some minor touch-up to the mechanics and some minor site. What came back in the proposal was those three. However, there was additive alternatives that were not really alternatives. They were requirements, but that's how they had to propose it. So all of that comes up to just over $4 million. Our budget's 1.75. But it's
And it's not,
a big number. And I can go through, I have three options.
Right.
that have
Okay.
been identified that I've got some pros and cons for each one that I'd like to walk you through.
I see Vice Mayor Smith has a question.
No, go ahead, and then I'll comment when you're
Yeah.
complete with your 3 proposals
Option one is
or options.
continue with this contract and proceed to phase 2 with the GMP of just over $4 million. This project was, this conceptual design was done with the 20-year need, the 20-year plan in mind, not the current staffing, not the current requirements that are at the current courtyard, but what do we need in the future for that fighting force? I heard a lot from employees that, hey, the current digs are run down.
Right.
They need some work.
Mhm.
I heard the police department and fire department have all, got their thing. We had a facelift here at City Hall. The blue collars need some love. It would move the courtyard to an industrial area with like activities. The current courtyard is congested right across from a park, right across from a stadium. It's going to have veterans housing right behind it. I know PCP and the PG&E yard are right next door, and there's also the Forest Service right next door, but that's really, I think it was legal non-conforming is the term for some of those areas around there, especially PCP. And it frees up the current courtyard for other uses. I know that we've got maybe some evidence rental we could do, evidence storage rental. We could do some parking over for the stadium because the parking's a premium there. Negatives, it's expensive. Option number 2, reduce the requirements to current needs. Abandon the 20-year plan and go with what's immediate, which we would leave the administrative building essentially alone and renovate the mechanic shop and get away from site improvements. If we're just doing renovation, we don't really have to do too much on the site improvement. So the positives, it's closer to our budget, though it's still over. Still a morale boost for employees. Still gets the courtyard to the industrial area. And we would design an admin space for future construction. So we'd still have that design, but we wouldn't necessarily construct it with this contract. Negatives were still about $600,000 over. And that could go up and down depending on the admin building that we do and what's actually needed there. It doesn't ensure the projected 20-year growth because we can design it and then never build it. And that's the hard part there. The mechanic shop will be fully 20-year ready, but it's the growth in staff and it's the space for the admin shop that would be impacted. It still requires the unanticipated electrical work because all of that is associated with the mechanic shop. Doesn't allow for public access to the admin building, so the idea was our streets and parks and our sewer divisions meet with contractors a lot. And instead of coming down here, they'd be able to stay at the courtyard, meet them in their spaces.
God bless you.
This would require a modification to the current design contract. So not the $30,000 that we've done, we've used that $30,000. So it would need a modification to that. And like I said, it limits the renovation to the mechanic shop only. Option 3, stay at the current courtyard. Don't do anything down at the new courtyard, find another use for it. The new one, 665 Cal Oak. So one of the things I'm not moving in the plan is the wash rack and the fuel station. The fuel station's almost reached the end of its life. It's not worth it to move down there. We would need to do something different. The wash rack, however, is key. We have space for it. We don't have the funds for it, especially at $4 million. We don't have more funds for it. And we'd be able to potentially design a new facility from the ground up. There was a plan that was done 8-10 years ago It was conceptual only, but it was where the Quonset hut is in the current courtyard. Cons to that, we're still working out of substandard facilities until that thing's built. And that would take a while. That would take probably a year to design and then another year to build. Requires construction activities to take place while we're still working out of the current courtyard. And that, you saw that place is congested. Ground up construction could be more expensive. It's not a guarantee that it's under this budget. And it keeps industrial activities where they're at, across from a park, across from a stadium, and near some residences. With that, I would open it up to questions.
Vice Mayor Smith is first in the queue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah. So as we all know, our decisions are only as good as the information upon which those decisions are made. This council, on multiple occasions, really challenged Mr. Mayo when this whole thing was brought forward. And I would have to say that if he said it's going to cost close to $3 million to buy it and another $4+ million to build it, I would have said no. So right up front, that's a no-fly for me. Option 3 sounding pretty good right now. And now, the original price tag of rebuilding or setting this up for city services, around 1.75. Reasonable is, 10%, 20% contingency or overages. That's great. So that takes it up to about $2 million. If you can make it happen for that, I'm good. Otherwise, sell it. Just to be blunt. I don't understand why we have to have a 40-ton air conditioning system in there, which triggers all this need for additional electricity when Toyota or Ford dealerships or Home Depot all use evaporative cooling. In the summer, we have a couple of tough days. Evaporative cooling might be a bit of a challenge, but it's tremendously less expensive to operate. When you got roll-up doors open and all, that's why Home Depot, the roll-up door, if you go there, it's open all day long. So if you're trying to use conventional HVAC to chill the outside, that's a pretty tough bet. And you're probably running 30, 40 grand a month in an electric bill with a 40-ton system. That's massive. So I just don't get that, why we're going down that path. And my sense is that's probably triggering a lot of the, tremendous excessive cost just in that. And then the building, I get the 20-year plan. We want to be proactive and projecting into the future. But I think as we build our city, as we get, the housing in order and other things come into play, and then we can, I think, add that as we build the city out, as we continue to, do good things there. And then we can, reward ourselves, our staff, with additional facilities or upgrades. At 7 acres, there's a lot of space over there. But, originally when we looked at the Endeavor facilities, it seemed like a great deal. It was at a complete, the shop, all the different elements that were there that could certainly meet the needs of the city with a few $1.75 million in modifications. So I'm just like a hard no on the $4 million. That's just a no-fly zone for me, especially in light of the challenges that we now know that are looming into the future when it comes to budgetary constraints. I think that there's a path to be found to fit within the original budget, and or the reason why that's such a heartbreak to sell it. I'm so excited about the idea of potentially opening parking for, the stadium and just the transformation that would happen in a downtown. I think those are all great plans, but maybe we also need to talk to the school board about, maybe a future collaborative involvement there. Or do they want that parking? Would they want to purchase that from us? I think those are all good conversations that probably should be being had as we just, cast our vision forward. But, again, as an elected, when city staff or when, you're given a number and you make a decision in a number, it's just like even on the federal level. A lot of decisions are made, right, about are we going to lower the interest rate? And then, we can't do that because the numbers don't fit. And then now we're going to adjust those numbers. And then, maybe we should have done that. And so bad decisions are made when bad information is given. And so, man, oh man, we just need to get this right. And so but that's where I'm at. So right now, the $2 million, we can make it fly, let's do it. Otherwise, I'm a no-go.
Breathe.
Councilman Goodson's next.
I feel like I can't even breathe right now. This is a hard one. Okay. Could you go over number 3 option again? And I just want to know, how was this miscalculated? This was, this was a gym, you know? And so I'm for a plan if we can move forward incrementally, but going backwards, no, that's not an option for me. And then, you know, I just wonder, did we put too much credit into the power to be at the time? Did we have to vet? Did we have to vet the bidding process from the expert? And that's all I can say.
Okay. Councilman Johnstone?
Thank you. So I am super disappointed. We absolutely need to upgrade that courtyard. Our current courtyard is in shambles. It is probably unhealthy.
It's antiquated.
And it is an embarrassment. Something absolutely needs to be done. I can't get on board with a 4 million at this point with the way our budget is, but we need to do something like Councilwoman Goodson said. We have to move forward. We can't go backwards. So I'm not sure what the answer is, and I would like staff to, you know, research more, come up with something that will help us move forward. And man, I'm really disappointed.
I feel gut punched.
Yeah, it was definitely something that we were excited. And I think that all of the staff that work down at the courtyard right now, they deserve something, you know, just like everything else that's being upgraded. They deserve to have, you know, a yard that is current, 20 years in advance, whatever. But we need to come up with something that's going to move us forward and not backwards. And I just can't see the 4 million right now. So I'm hoping that staff can come up with some great ideas on what we can do more, short of not doing anything at this point.
Councilman Thompson's in the queue.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's already been said, but simply, we got to work within our budget. It's
Yeah.
as simple as that. And if we can do the 1.7 to 2, then get something going for our people, wonderful. But yeah, I'm not going to support the 4.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker.
Eric said it perfectly.
Councilman Weber?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tim, thank you. Appreciate your hard work.
Yes.
And appreciate the vision, for sure, okay? However, I'm going to echo the same sentiments of everybody up here. Is it needed? Absolutely, undeniably, okay? I think when Mayor Pittman brought this to the council as a prospective location, it's an excellent location.
Excellent.
It'll be expansive in our capacity to serve the community. So I have a couple observations. Fuel station versus card lock. The card lock system that we have is just down the street from where we're at. So for me, I think we can make a pretty strong argument that the cost differential that we would have to make up and how long it would take with the cost of buying a fuel station versus continuing to use the card lock, I don't think it would probably balance out, you know, because I don't know how much a fuel station is, but it's probably a lot of money, right? So do you want to comment on that?
I'll just say that the fuel station and the wash rack are things we've had recent discussions in the last week that to me, we really need to figure out a method to, if we're going to be fully over in the new courtyard, ideally we find a way to do that, whether it's moving the fuel island. Again, we have not costed that out to answer that question. But I will say that when the current fuel station went down, we did analyze our costs, and our fuel figures, I know, spiked significantly using the alternative source. But we can do some analysis on that.
Okay,
About
so-
the cost-benefit ratio, obviously, and figure out what would it cost. And obviously, if we're paying more for fuel, what's the delta there?
Well, what's the, I guess what
The
you have to
payback.
figure out is what is the average lifespan of a fuel station?
It's 30 years.
Okay.
30
And then
years.
how much cost differential will we deal with? And also, I mean, what would it look like to move the fuel station we have too, right?
Yeah, that one, it has, I think, 2 years of useful life left on it. So that one would be one you would just.
Okay.
We would move.
Fair enough.
We'd move the new electronics over there that we did put in because it was broken. It was broken down. So we would reuse that, but we would do a new fuel station.
Okay,
If
fair
we-
enough. Well, it's all worth looking at, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So, and that's my point is, this facility's not perfect, right? The new courtyard, it's not perfect, but it's a heck of a lot better than the current one, right? And I mean, it's like way bigger, way newer buildings. These are not bad plans in my opinion, but they're not plans for now. I know that there are questions about like power location and all that stuff, but I think this is probably a case of we're just gonna have to use what we have and build, because we as a council, I know that every person on this council has a deep desire and interest to see this town grow and thrive and develop. So we've already spent a significant amount of money on purchasing it, and then we have so much budget that we can work with, but this $4 million price tag is way too much. So I think what we do is we do what we can in order to occupy it, and then we low hanging fruit. We go after low hanging fruit, and then we build the ladder to the fruit we can't get right now. Because right now, it's just too much. It's just not for us to do it.
It's not
So
feasible.
the sooner we get moved over there, though, the sooner we can free up the courtyard here. I am not in favor of selling this current courtyard at all, because I would much rather see that be leveraged and utilized for,
Absolutely.
for
Yeah.
downtown enhancements with Harrison Stadium, which everybody knows parking down there is
It's atrocious.
complicated at best.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we're actively building up a city, and as we succeed, we will build it. But for now, let's just run it as it is. And it may not be perfect, but it is better than what we currently have. So, that's my opinion. So, in my opinion, it's like what the least amount of effort that we have to put into occupying it for now is where I would land with this. Okay, and with all due respect, all the work you've done, Tim, I appreciate you again. Okay.
And Alyssa.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm up next. I'm going to add, I'm not going to repeat what everybody said. In agreement. We're going to have to live within our means, but I would prioritize the 1.7 and find out how far we can go. And I would prioritize the fuel station and the wash rack, mostly because I know we saw a spike in using the card lock. And it's just been my experience to have fuel on board for the city has a long-term savings in terms of buying it cheaper and so on and so forth. So, I mean, the numbers need to be looked at for sure, but having the fuel station there and having the wash rack moved, I think would be a priority to me. And the other one is, do you know the cover that's over the fuel station now? You know where that came
Yeah.
from? The metal cover? That was a gas station over at Stanford Avenue and where the dentist's office is. And the reason I bring that up is let cities, employee staff figure it out. Because they went over and took the old roof, cut it down, moved it over to the yard and made a cover over the fuel station. So I'm open to let the guys figure it out. Here's the 1.7, what do you guys think we can do to move in tomorrow? And because it's gonna be their yard. And they've already done that to the old yard. I mean, when I walked through the other day, I didn't know they put offices in old parking stalls. Those were parking stalls, they were not offices, and the guys did that on their own.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, let's let the guys, there's a staff down there, tell us what they can do to move in
Back
tomorrow.
with that.
And just give them that, because it's gonna be their place. And I think the long-term capacity, obviously, we've all said that, is there. And the old yard, as soon as we can make a parking lot out of it, would be great. And it also has a purpose for the police department, the one building that has to stay there. So we've got the niches here of a good deal. I think, 1.7, let the guys figure out how far they can make it go. And I appreciate your plan. I think that's the 20-year plan that we need to have in our back pocket, so as we do expand, we don't have to guess what we need to do.
Absolutely.
Because we already got it, and that's
Absolutely.
fine. And that's my observation at this point. Councilman Weber's in the queue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to piggyback off that comment too. I think that's an excellent observation because who better to know what you're going to need? And not that you haven't taken that into
employees.
consideration. I'm pretty confident that you've had incredible conversations. Yeah, right. Absolutely. So I think it's a great idea, you know, to see where we could go with what we have to work with, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Any other
What's-
comments or questions from council? I don't see anybody in the queue.
What's the direction?
Direction, do we have any comment cards?
We do not, sir.
Okay.
Let me try to summarize what I heard.
What is
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
I
direction?
believe
look
I
like?
heard to work within our means and see what we can get done at the new site, but give strong consideration to the fuel station and the wash rack and see what we can get done.
Yeah. Get that done.
And to ask input
Absolutely.
from the current employees there.
And also do an evaluation on those other, like, garages, like, you know, the issue of the 40-ton air conditioner versus the evaporative cooling
No, we
system.
had already spoken about that, so I don't know, again, I think we're on the same page. It should be evaporation cool. We're in sync there.
Okay, all right, because that's a big,
Yeah,
that's massive.
yeah.
I told the contractor, unless it's a code to have HVAC, we need to be evaporative.
Yeah.
Well, it's good enough for Home Depot, good enough for Orville Ford and Toyota, so.
Yeah.
Well, the staff at the mechanic shop just put in a new floor-mounted AC unit. They just showed this to us the other day, so, I mean, it'll work for the open space where you gotta have that, and then some kind of resident heater would, I mean, I just let the staff tell us what they need. That's the way I like it. Mr. Belser, you have a comment? No? All right,
He supports us.
yeah,
I 100% wish that we had the
yeah.
you know, I mean, I think we all do. It's just,
Well, I do want to stress, we're not asking for that because we're in this,
Sure.
we're all in the same.
Right,
I wanted to
fiscally
be-
responsible.
We were just throwing the options out there, but
Sure,
we would not.
that's
Okay, thank you.
All right, item number 13 is a letter requesting support from the state addressing illegal dumping and salmon habitat degradation along the feather.
we did 10 already?
Yes, we did, Tim.
Sorry,
Yep, yep, thank you.
Yeah,
Mr. Ring?
yeah, I'll take this, Mr. Mayor. You know, this, really, we've talked about this quite a bit over at least my time here, and I think when Mr. Belser showed me pictures of the cleanup day they had a few weeks ago, it kind of hit a nerve personally with me, and then I think it hit a nerve with many of you because then it triggered a lot of conversations with many of you about, geez, what we need to do something between the illegal dumping down there. It's having impacts on the waterways. It's having impacts on the environment, the salmon habitat specifically, and it's also having an impact on tourism and just our community members who want to go down there and enjoy the waterway. Our staff reached out to Ron and Chief Wines, and I believe we're spending 300-400 hours a month about down there right now cleaning up debris.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of meetings with, there's so many stakeholders involved with this waterway, whether it's CHP, DWR, Fish and Wildlife, state parks, city, county, Feather River Rec and Park District. I'm sure I'm missing a few. And we've had a couple meetings about just how can we better manage this. And the bottom line is it's the city staff are doing the vast majority of this work in partnership, obviously, with these cleanup days. So I think it was this time that we kind of write a letter. I talked to our state lobbyist. He thought it was a great idea to make a pitch to the governor and say, you know what, we need some assistance here. It has environmental impacts, and to see where it goes. And then ultimately, so that's what's before you tonight is a draft letter to send to the governor to seek assistance. But then we've also had some internal discussions about possibly designating that corridor there from at least bridge to bridge, the Feather River Walk area, maybe make that a city park. But that's a conversation for another day. But at least, so before you is just a letter to the governor to seek some assistance and some help.
Sure.
Councilman Weber is in the queue.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is something that I'm totally in support of. In fact, I'm very interested in even pursuing the conversation about designated that entire area as a park as well. You know, when I was out there the other day, we did that cleanup and working with Shane and the other guys and all of us out there, you know, and the the magnitude of what we're seeing as pollutants that are entering directly into this, this very sensitive ecosystem, right? You know, when I was talking to the, please forgive me, I can't remember her name or her title, but I think she was a marine biologist or something, forgive me. Huh?
Gina White.
Yes, thank you. And her and I were talking about the sensitivity of the ecosystem. And she was driving home some points, and I wasn't agreeing with everything she said, but at the same time, I was listening very intently. And what she was talking about is that this spawning grounds is the largest spawning grounds on the West Coast and is responsible for almost all of the salmon population that is in the Pacific Ocean in this immediate area, which I found almost impossible to believe. However, she probably has a lot more information than I do, right? So after that night, as I got home and I started processing everything I had seen that day and the magnitude of trash, debris, human waste, the undermining of the
waterway.
of the levee systems by building and, you know, flat areas, by diverting, like the little man-made jetties that they make out into the water, and they're diverting the water into these little lagoons, and they're gold mining and whatnot in there, right? And they're altering these highly sensitive ecosystems, these breeding, these spawning grounds, right? And it just struck me that night, just thinking, man, this is like, we really need to do something, you know, and this, to write a letter of support of the environmental impacts to the governor, I think is perfectly timed. And frankly, I think we also need to explore, you know, enhancing our no camping ordinance with some environmental impact stuff on it, you know, 200 foot from the high water mark. And that's that email I sent you on 9/23. And but this has to be a paramount item for us, because quality of life down there is terrible. When I was out there, City Works, me and Jordan Crossing, plus your guys were out there, a couple of your guys were out there, and I ended up at the far eastern tip of the island by myself, and I was just kind of working and cleaning, and out of the bushes come two guys, and they confronted me, and they were very hostile, very agitated. I'm going to refrain from saying this guy's name, but if I was to say it right now, you would know exactly who I'm talking about. In fact, you probably know who it is. Yeah. And he got very hostile, cussing, threatening me, saying he was going to do some certain things to me, and I just didn't back down. You know, no, you know, we're going to clean this camp up. No, your behavior here is unacceptable. And but think about if that was a person that maybe didn't have the ability to stand up against that. And I'm not trying to say I'm a tough guy, but you know, it could have been really intimidating to the wrong individual.
Sure.
Think about like when I was younger and a kid, and I used to watch fishing derbies on that island regularly. You remember, you know, Mayor, you remember as well. And think about if you were to be just going out there to be a recreational fisherman with your child, a little girl or a little boy, and you're confronted with this just immense hostility, and then the mess, the smell from that one camp in the middle of the island. Shane, you remember? Unbelievable. The human wasting there was so much. Wow. And this has got to take an environmental toll on these incredibly volatile systems that we have. So we have to do something. There has to be something done, because we need to preserve our ecosystem, and we need to preserve our quality of life, our ability to even enjoy these areas. So I'm in complete support of this, and even more, more. So thank you.
Fair enough. Vice Mayor Smith is in the queue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, as I understand it, in 2030, there's an unfunded mandate coming from Sacramento that's going to require municipalities such as the city of Warville to put in filtration systems on all our street drains, 5 millimeters, which is the size of a dice. So we are, as a city, per the state, we're going to be forced to do this. I bring that up because I think in the crafting of that letter, we need to be mindful that Sacramento has a different perspective as to city's responsibilities. So just as you develop that, look into this, because this is something that's up and coming in about 4 years, that is going to become a conversation in the next few months, I think, in a city council meeting. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention before you go whacking Sacramento.
Yeah, no, we actually, Alyssa had a conversation with me a while back about that. future requirement.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
no,
so
it's,
it's coming.
there's different ways to do that now. There's socks, there's inlet filtration systems. It's yeah, but it is coming in the future.
We used to have to label all the drains that went to the Feather River. Remember the painting
Yeah.
thing we used to have on those all over the place?
And so it's just another thing that's coming. And, as to Jada White's comment, all the debris that certain individuals leave in our waterways kill millions of fish. So this is a big deal, and we certainly have a responsibility as a community, and I think Sacramento should help. Just we have to be wise in how we request
Can you
it.
craft that?
Do you mind if I add one last
go
comment?
ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
and it's important to note too on that information she was providing, that she's saying the population is declining
Absolutely.
every year.
Sure.
Right? So that's huge. And could we surmise that perhaps the population is in decline because of some of this stuff?
Oh, sure.
Maybe?
Yeah,
Yes.
certainly. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for giving us some time.
Oh, yes.
Councilman
no-
Goodson.
No problem. So I'm definitely, I think we're all in support of a letter, crafting it wisely. But I would also, say that each one of us needs to sign that
Sure.
letter.
Send it up. Yep, send our own too, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think we have pretty
All
good
of us.
consensus for your letter. And I would add too, as I've been on that floating classroom with Jada, and one of the things I think it's hard to realize that even the efficiency and the cleanliness of the fish hatchery itself, more spawning eggs happen between the two bridges in the natural river than actually does in the actual hatchery. So that spawning beds are kind of hypercritical, and I did have a meeting with DWR about a year ago over this topic and asked the state if they were gonna have some kind of, discretionary zoning or some special, idea for protection of that, environmental special beds, and I never did hear anything back. I mean, we kind of talked around it, so now I think we need to spur that issue along and say, if you guys are gonna take care of it, take care of it. If you're not gonna take care of it, we're gonna make it a city park and go that way. I mean, that's the real thing, and the first thing to do is ask the state to pick it up, so.
Yeah, so there is a letter in the packet, and it is, I think that, I believe I tried to, the tone in there is not really aggressive. It's, hey, we have a problem, we're looking for help.
Right.
It's currently drafted from the mayor, but on behalf of the city council, but we can change that from,
Yeah,
and
full
and have
council,
all
yeah.
signatures for
Yes.
all council members. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Do we have any comment cards on this item?
We do not, sir.
Okay. All right,
We do need a motion on this.
we need a motion. Any motions?
So moved.
Motion to change the language.
Yeah.
And with the
Are you asking us
signatures.
if we're gonna be more aggressive? Is that what you want?
No, I think my point is to Vice Mayor Smith's point, not to. I mean, be cognizant of how we ask for things, and I believe the letter is not. It's not accusatory. It's not aggressive.
Right.
It's hey, we have a problem. We're spending a lot of time on this. We sure would
Exactly.
appreciate some help.
Yeah.
But I could change that if I think the motion was to approve the letter with the change to have all council members sign it and then send it.
We have a second on it, don't we?
Second.
All right. Call the roll, please.
Motion passes 6 yeses, 1 absent.
All right, that was item 13. Item 14 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Warrenville opposing California Proposition 50, currently redistricting issue. I brought this up because of some members of the community asked me to ask the council what their feelings were on one way or the other. We really didn't have time to have a conversation because the election's one more meeting for us, so I crafted something here, and it's the pleasure of the council whether they want to vote on this, amend it, change it, whatever the case may be. Like I said, I'm reacting to some of the community members that asked me to put it before us, so it's a pleasure of the council. Councilman Goodson is in the queue.
We all represent so many different perspectives. This isn't a cookie cutter. It's not a black and a white thing. People living in different communities feel different things about their representatives. And so, as I am a president of the Butte County NAACP, and this is coming up in our monthly meeting. So I stayed up till 2 in the morning, drafting a PowerPoint presentation with neutrality, pros and cons. And at the end of the day, it's a person's personal, because I can't speak to, each person has a voice and a choice. So when I saw this come up, I was genuinely perplexed that it was on the on the agenda. And so here's why. Proposition 50 is it's a statewide measure, and its fate, I feel, should be determined by California voters and state level representatives and not by city council. It's not our role, I don't believe, to weigh in formally on matters that fall outside of our jurisdiction. So for that reason, I'm just recommending a no vote to vote on this item. In other words, I just don't believe we should take any action on it. Not a yes, not a no, not an endorsement, not an opposition. We should just simply decline to vote on it and just move forward. I think our time and energy could be best spent in things that are specifically related to our city moving forward. So that's my
Councilman
take.
Thompson's in the queue.
Thank you. And I appreciate those sentiments. I respectfully disagree that this proposition directly affects our citizens. And pretty much everybody that I've talked to feel that this is actually going to be taking away the voice of our citizens. And so I think it's appropriate to stand up for our citizens and have our voice be heard. So, yeah, I think it's not only appropriate, I think it's proper for us to weigh in on behalf of our citizens.
Okay, any other, I don't see anyone else in the queue. Like I said, I helped to draft it with staff, so it was brought forward so the council could consider it. And it is a little bit out of our typical domain, but like I said, I had about half a dozen folks ask me to have the council weigh in on it, and it's the council's pleasure, whatever you wish to do. If that or any amendments you'd like to see in the text is fine too. So it's up to the council what we'd like to do.
I think it's great. I make a motion that we adopt resolution number 9409.
I make a motion that we abstain from a vote on this item.
So the second motion carries.
Well, there has to be a second on either one of
A
them.
second on any of these motions before you.
Okay.
So there is a first motion that needs to be established, whether there is a second for that.
Okay.
To determine whether there's a necessity for a second motion. So the first motion, currently calling for a second, is to adopt the resolution.
Okay. I will second it based upon my constituents that asked me to bring this forward. The first motion, yes.
You have a motion and a second, and then now you have a competing motion that's been brought forward to not have a vote on it at all.
Right.
That currently doesn't have a second, but the first motion in line is the motion of Councilmember Thompson.
Okay.
So with the second.
It needs a second in order for it to be
It
valid.
needs a second to carry.
Second in order to determine some level of priority, but Councilmember Thompson's motion is first in line, and it does have a second.
Okay.
So
Any
we don't
questions?
get a second motion.
Vice
It just
It
dies.
just does.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's usually not a great idea to have competing motions.
But it does happen. I mean, that's our
It does.
prerogative. Yeah,
It's happened.
It's happened.
Several times, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, without any further questions, I call the roll. On the first motion, Councilman Thompson's motion.
Okay.
Motion passes 5 yeses, 1 no, 1 absent.
Thank you, council. Item number 15.
Logo.
It's the Oroville City Council logo addition. I will take this because I had a lot of folks ask me about a logo difference. I understand we have an accepted logo, but it doesn't really tell us too much about Oroville, and consequently, I will say I have some family members that are very talented and drew up the one that we have here in the agenda. And it's up to the council what they'd like to do with it. Part of the reasoning, well, I can't call my thing up here. I'm having a hell of a time. Is just to have some more identification as to what's available in Orville and communicate that message through the logo. There's 3 different exhibits here. One, Exhibit C has no text in it. Exhibit B has some text. Fun Starts Here, which is an old logo that I think came from the Chamber of Commerce, if I remember right. Fun Starts Here, didn't that?
Yes,
Yeah.
that slogan, Jam.
Yeah, and then the place to be was another suggestion I got from other members. So it's up to the council. I've had a lot of nice support for it.
Which one?
Well, actually, C, they like the no need to put text in there, just leave Orville and show the river and the activities of sailboating, the hiking, and my family members told me we needed to have 2 hikers in there, and I won't say who did that was, but she demanded that we have 2 hikers in there, so, and it's just, and I understand too that the website would need a different color scheme to blend in.
Yeah, so there's a couple of concerns were just raised recently, so I don't apologize. One of them was the fact that if we did change the logo right now, if you go to the website, is using the same color palette, so it would be easier to if we can modify the modified logos within that color palette, that might work. But then there's also an issue that was raised that how these were created, whether or not we could actually use them, if there's copyright issues associated with, if AI was used or however they were formulated. So I think we'd want to run that to ground as well.
Depends.
Okay. I'm not, again, I just learned
I
of this.
use AI quite a bit in content generation, and it kind of looks to me like that's how it was generated. But, you know.
It's a great tool.
Yeah, and it is an amazing tool, and we use it regularly over in my office, but probably it's okay, most likely. Because it's probably the way I'm looking at it, it probably was up, if I was doing this, I would have uploaded the original logo, which as long as the city owns the license and rights to it, and then that was the example that was given to AI to then now modify, and with these additional new features, then it's completely, it's cool, it's copacetic.
Yeah, well, that's a certain possibility to do that. One of the things you'll see in the picture is there's 5 water bodies, and that's the thing that I've always carried the football on, is we have 5 lakes here and the river runs through it. So that was a theme that I had personally to add to it. And just having the kayaks, the fishing, the biking, and all those things, I think helped to sell a message to the community. And like I said, these 3, and I have an oldest daughter that's a graphic artist, and she kind of kicked me in the butt and do a couple things, and it's completely done at the family house. So we could certainly adjust it to any needs the council sees fit to. And I know our logo there, but it just doesn't tell the story. And I think we need a story to be told. So we can look at it now and have the council absorb it later, whatever the choice of the council is. Oh, Councilman Thompson.
Thank you. First of all, whoever your family members are, they're pretty talented. So, or if they use AI, then they're talented to use AI.
Both ways, I'd say both.
A couple things. I'm actually not opposed to it too much. I prefer things to be a little more timeless, and each of these guys is kind of resembling a crosswalk dude. And Orville's got a long history, so if we were to go something like this, I would prefer to have the little dudes to look a little more timeless than little circle head guys like a crosswalk dude. The other thing is on the bottom, I really strongly think that whatever we go with, Orville, people don't know what it means, and I think it's a beautiful meaning, City of Gold. You know, Orville, California, City of Gold. You know, it's not, it's not something to really argue, like, well, Orville isn't the city. It's like exactly what it means. And so, having that, that verbiage along with something like this, I think it brings a little class to it. So I would, if we were working with something like this, I would go with A, because I don't necessarily think a sailboat totally pictures Orville, even though we have people out in the forebay. and a little bit out in the lake, but it's not really like, it doesn't really say Orville to me. So I'd go with the first one, City of Gold, and then just kind of change those dudes on there so they weren't all the crosswalk guys.
When you say crosswalk, right, you talk about the hikers?
Just they're all the same. They got the round heads.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
They look
Okay.
like you're ready to cross the crosswalk.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we can certainly do that. Councilman Goodson?
So I checked in with AI, and it says you must ensure the AI-generated logo is truly original and not based on copyrighted or trademarked material. In regards to the licensing, confirm that the AI tool used grants commercial rights to the output. Before finalizing the logo, run a trademark search to ensure it doesn't resemble existing marks, especially in government, civic, or regional categories. And last, even if AI generates the design, you must have human oversight, have a designer or legal advisor review it, because that adds layers of protection.
And if I could add to that, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But I know we like to spend like $100,000 on logos and whatnot.
Yeah.
99 designs, 99 designs for like $100, $200. You can get competitive designers from around the world, and literally for a couple $100,
That's
have
true.
a copyrighted
Yeah,
logo that
that's
says no
true.
infringements. You can, and if you have some place to start with, this is my starting ground, something like this for a city, long history, and they will, I've used it. It was like for an upgraded version, it was like $250. And there was designers from around the world that competed for my
Crazy.
$250.
Why
All
didn't
right.
we do that?
Well, I've taken all the suggestions. Let me go back and see if I can kick my.
But good job on your family, whatever they did.
I'll kick my oldest daughter and see what we can play with. All right, folks? We'll bring it back.
Okay.
Okay? Oh, Councilman Weber, excuse me. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I just wanted to note, because I did see some of the chatter about this particular subject on Facebook. I wanted to note for those that may be listening in for this council that that logo that we're currently using was provided free.
Sure.
You know, it wasn't part of any of the
Right,
packages that we bought. That one was provided by Hardy Land, if you remember, right?
Yep,
And
right.
so I know there was a lot of people talking about how much that cost us.
Yeah, no.
You know, but that particular thing he just gave to us, so.
Thank you, sir. So noted. All right, folks. We'll bring it back. And then what's next here? Oh, any non-agenda items to be brought up that didn't make the first round? Seeing none. Future agenda items. Council?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Councilman Johnstone. Yes.
That's okay. I just wanted to let the public know that for anybody that is familiar with the Upwards basketball program, it is currently being taken care of. We have worked out plans for it to move forward this year. It'll be at different locations, but there is a great community support, great people involved in volunteering to do that. So we are going to have the 25-26 Upwards basketball season, and I'm so excited about it.
And if I could add to that, there is on an advertisement, it says River of Life Church.
It's in Roseville.
That's in Roseville. It's not River of Life Church, Orville. Ask me how I know.
Because you've been getting a lot of, I bet.
Got a lot of people like, oh, I'm like,
No, so for,
to me.
There's not a lot of basketballs running around up there?
so for
Yeah.
for just public information, if you go to Upwards Basketball Orville Facebook page, you will also see that there is an Upwards Basketball website, and it is not the River of Life. That's
Orville.
in Orville, if you get anything that says River of Life Upwards Basketball, that is not the correct one. It will be Upwards Basketball Orville Facebook page, or upwardsbasketballorville.org.
Very good. Councilman Weber?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So kind of on the heels of our conversation regarding the letter to the governor and all that, I would like to officially request that we have a conversation. I already emailed you on 9/23 regarding that 200-foot enhanced environmental no camping ordinance. And I know there's other communities that have done that as well, along the river as well, so we could explore, possibly we could explore that. But I would like that to be a future agenda item where we bring that back and then give Mr. Belzer and Mr. Wines more tools in their toolbox to help keep that, you know, but you need the resources too, right? So, but we'll work on all of it, right? One step at a time. So, and then as well as officially get it on the future agenda for us to explore designating that entire levee, basically from the hatchery down to Bedrock Park as a park system. Because then I think that probably would give us more ability to go after federal grant dollars to also enhance the walkway with lighting and whatnot to improve the quality of life. So I would officially request that we do those as future agenda items as well.
Okay, Vice Mayor Smith.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometime back, we hired two firms, lobbyists. So it would be, I think this is probably a good time to think about having them come back or some kind of report as to how that's benefited us. We spent significant dollars on those two organizations, and so it'd be good to hear.
Okay.
I agree.
All right, Mr. Spear, do you want to check in the non-agenda item real quick? Come on up.
Future agenda item.
Okay.
So it was a while back, I asked for a future agenda item for traffic control on Huntoon Street, and there was a second, and nothing ever followed up on it. Since then, they'd put a stop sign down, and they talked about how cheap it was. Every day we have to cross Huntoon Street, and it's a stop sign would be an easy fix. It just don't sound like it costs that much, and if we could expedite that, it could save someone's life. Also, if there was some way for the private citizens to have some kind of complaint system when, you know, things are getting stuck in the bureaucracy. We're trying to put in our outside event area, and, you know, it's a simple project, and we was hoping to have it open by Salmon Festival, and it took 2 months just for them to tell us that we could do it. One person said, you don't have to go to the planning commission. The other one said, well, I interpret it different. You need to. And, you know, it's, we got a lot of money invested, and was hoping maybe for Thanksgiving or Christmas, but the way things are going, it don't look like it. Also, we have a building on Fifth Avenue. We were in there 4 years, and the roof didn't get tarped off right when the roofing contractor was roofing it, and so we needed a permit to re-sheetrock it. The city said, nope, you got to upgrade your bathrooms, you got to get everything to new building specifications. 4 years later, we're wanting to move back in, and I guess there's problems now, and so we're paying a lease and all this stuff, and it shouldn't take act of Congress to be able to get stuff done. You know, we're on a limited budget. We can't wait for months and months and months. And so if there was a way to make things go by easier for, you know, a lady came and complained about waiting a year and, you know, complaining about us saying we get special treatment. We definitely not getting special treatment. If it is, it's on the opposite side of the way that they were accusing us of. But anyways, I would appreciate any kind of help on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
On the sidewalk would be great, but I appreciate anything you guys could do to help the projects go forward. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, duly noted.
Didn't know.
The correspondence is attached. We did receive a letter from the issue with the Horville Hospital. I think we're all aware of that letter. With that being said, any other conversations or then I would take, this meeting will be adjourned for the next meeting, October 21st, 2025 at 4 p.m. And Mr. Ring needs to go home and say, happy birthday.